Playboating. It's not something I have a lot of experience with. I just got a Jackson Rockstar 5 in May, and one of the places that you can learn to playboat on the Potomac is at the Chutes. The chutes are two little narrow sort of pour over holes that change at different river levels, but can be really good places for you to practice surfing, practice ferrying, S turns, peel outs. And it's a very popular place for beginner paddlers to exercise in a safe environment. Basically, you just go to Angler's River Access on the Maryland side, put in, and paddle upstream a bit to access these features. The Maryland Chute is the focus of this video. I'll post another one later showing you how to ferry over to the Virginia side and play there. This is a video of me just getting used to surfing, trying to do some paddle tosses, working on my confidence, staying upstream, getting on and leaving a wave. And I'll provide a little commentary so you can sort of hear my internal logic as I'm practicing, specifically on the entry moves, the exit moves, and what I'm learning about how to carve and stay present on top of a wave while surfing it. Enjoy. Okay, so getting on the wave. Starting on river right, we're going to get to the top of the eddy, and you'll notice that there is a small little wave that we can ferry across into the bigger hole. The hole itself, looking upstream as you're surfing it, is kind of a V shape. And so you'll find that the upstream left-hand side of that V is pretty steep, and you might bury your bow or get turned around and flipped if you're too far on surfer's left. Surfer's left is river right. Looking upstream while you're surfing it, you can carve back and forth in the middle and surfer's right of the wave. Staying to the right and carving to the left and then heading back right, I think is the best way to get a long ride on this wave. And it's pretty steep at this level, which is around 3.17. So longer boats can have a little trouble not getting their bow buried. And I find that leaning back a little bit with a playboat is helpful. Accessing this wave from river left is pretty hard at this level. There's a lot of fast water pouring over between where you are in the eddy and the hole. It's definitely possible. I've done it a few times in my playboat, but you better have your boat angle right and you better be working hard to get upstream. One thing I need to work on is rather than taking big corrective strokes to adjust, I should be ruddering. That is to say, on the side I'm edging on, put my paddle in the water almost parallel to my boat and behind me, and use kind of a draw or pry to carve against the wave. That's something I'm getting more comfortable with. It's a little hard to describe if you can't see me doing it. So in the meantime, just know that until you're comfortable with that kind of ruddering, you can still take these big strokes and keep your position on the wave if you're new to surfing like I am. Remember, surfer's left is the problem area on this wave at this level. If you're too far right and you get turned around, just stick a paddle in the water, lean downstream facing the eddy, and it's going to spit you out. On the left-hand side, it will hold you for a second or two. And if it flips you, unfortunately, it can hold on to you even for a second or two, which is scary for a new surfer. But rest assured, it will spit you out. And the best thing that you can do is look where you want to go, look downstream, look to the eddy, lean downstream, and just dig in that water with your paddle for something to hold on to pull you out of the hole. Was not so successful here.
Yeah. Good, Sam.
There is a great eddy just downstream of this surf wave with a little beach. And given that playboating always makes my legs hurt or fall asleep, that's where I go down to pop out, take a rest, get flexible, hydrate before coming back in. And I've found that with enough resting, you could stay out here and easily playboat for 3, 4 hours on a normal day. I survived the surfer's left part of the wave. If you're noticing the tape on my arm and you're curious about it, basically paddling 3, 4, 5 times a week requires some maintenance of your body, some stretching, some strength exercises. But even if you're doing a lot of supportive sort of exercise and stretching, really you're going to be prone to overuse injuries. My right wrist started to develop this ache and kind of tendency to cramp up, and I got worried about carpal tunnel or something like that. So I went to a physical therapist and developed kind of a care regimen for that wrist. Basically, the idea is to take extra good care of it so that doesn't develop into an injury. If you are feeling an injury working your way up your arm, starting in your wrist, all of a sudden you feel it in your elbow, making its way up to your shoulder, it's time to go talk to somebody and figure out what kind of exercises you need to do to stay on the water. You may need to sacrifice some near-term paddling, for example, give up paddling 2 days in a row or limit it to 3 times a week, but that's way better than being out of the sport entirely for a month or two. So worth noting, I find this tape actually is pretty helpful in getting a little extra longevity out of my paddling. And since I've been doing the exercises I got, I'm paddling 3, 4 times a week with no symptoms at all, which is awesome. I'm playboating with some awesome Potomac boaters here. Sam and Soren are father-son duo who are shredding it up. So shout out to those two. What's up? Love paddling with them.
Yeah, racing's good.
Yes, this felt so good.
Oops.